button goes, and then here we go. One, two. Oh, wait, wrong app. Okay, what? Wrong thing. Hold on. I thought I was ready. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that brings you the latest and greatest from odd and crazy news from all over the planet. This is the show that is going to rocket itself into the big leagues as next week it descends upon Dragon Con in Atlanta for its first ever Dragon Con live show panel time. So if you're going to be there, you should mark your calendars for Sunday at 8:30 p.m. down in the Hilton Galleria 6.
Yay!
Down in the basement where nobody's there. You can just peace out and be happy, except there'll be lots of people there because it's our show and everybody's going to be like, I got to see Horseshoes and Hand Grenades because it's going to be amazing. Kelly says, bring a blanket. I would agree. That sounds great in case you want to cuddle with the person next to you, but only if invited. Hi, I'm your host, Steven, joined as always by the amazing, the wonderful Smashley. How are you,
You
Smashley?
said you got a seahorse.
I got a seahorse.
Yeah, you said I got a seahorse, shoes and hand grenades.
Oh, that's great. I got a seahorse shoes. It's different. They're shaped funny. They're not quite like your average horseshoe.
Our logo should be a seahorse.
You think? Does that feel like that's a better choice?
Steven, can I tell you about my no sleep?
Yeah, you can go ahead and fill me
Or
in.
would you like to tell me about your... So, I've got a nail in my tire once my entire life.
Yeah? I've had
once, and I've been
a bunch.
driving longer than you have.
So okay, we were just mentioning this before I started the recording. So hey, you're
Yeah,
caught up now.
This made sense.
Yeah, so you're caught up now. I got another nail in my tire, so I changed the tire outside before coming in because I'm driving down the road, go through the neighborhood, and all of a sudden, beep, 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 you got a thing going on. And I'm like, oh, shoot, tire's getting low. I was like, what happened? And I found a big old fat nail in the bottom of it. Me and Sam are at Office Depot getting prints of transparencies for the 500th time that are the wrong size, so I got to go back again.
Transparency?
You know when you're in a math class, they're using an overhead projector and they're writing on it with wet erase markers.
Oh, that
Yeah.
really thick plastic?
Yeah, here, this stuff. This stuff. This is very visual for our audio listeners, but yeah.
Cool,
this stuff.
okay. Is that how you do the screen printing?
Yes, that's how you do the screen printing. Homeboy, despite my picture being sized exactly right for an 8x11 sheet of paper, decided he'd go ahead and click the fit to page button and made it like 9 times bigger than it needs to be.
Did you tell him that that's not what you wanted and you weren't going to pay for that?
Well, to be fair, I didn't know because I didn't have my reference in front of me. So tomorrow,
oh wait, you did it, not he did it.
He did it. He printed it when I said I needed a transparency printed. He
okay, but
printed it.
Obviously when you see that come out, it's wrong.
Well, I didn't know it was too big.
No, I mean him.
Well, maybe he didn't. I just said I needed it printed. So I'm taking these with me tomorrow so I can make sure he prints it out properly because I can hold it up against this and be like, this is the size I need. This is the size the pictures are because I just printed them at home and this is what came out. So you hit the fit to page button and you made it like 9 inches
There's
bigger.
There's like zero way that he picked that up, did not see that it was shit, and just handed it to you and he didn't care.
It's not crap. It's fine. It just doesn't work for my purpose. You know? That's the issue. So he's fine. He did his job. I just didn't. I wasn't.
He's not
the one.
fine. He's wrong.
Listen,
he should be punished.
Thank you, Office Max, for printing my transparencies. They don't
I thought it was
sponsor the
Staples.
show. Whatever. They're all the same. Like they all do literally the same thing. They sell the same stuff. So anyway, I got to go back tomorrow and get some new ones. But I've got this. Back to the nail in the tire. I get home. And I'm like, okay, I've got to go take this to the tire place in the morning because they patch it for free. I've got a warranty on it anyway in case it couldn't be patched, but they'll patch it for free. I just got to get it there. And I thought, okay, I'm going to wake up in the morning. This thing's going to be flat. I'm going to have to drag out my air compressor. I'm going to have to fill it up, and that's all going to be really annoying. So I just said, screw it. I'm going to take the tire off and put the donut on. So I did that. I did that tonight. But I thought about it. I was like, where could I have picked up a tire or a nail? they've been doing a lot of construction on the high school. But that's mostly done. So I was like, oh, I picked it up from the
Oh.
high school. Then I got to think, I was like, no, no, no. They're mostly done. And I remembered as I was driving out of the neighborhood, I passed by a house getting its hardy board redone. And I'm like, these jacked up siding contractors have been throwing their nails all over the highway. Because every time this happens, there's somebody in the neighborhood that will post on next door and be like, daggone contractors with their siding. I got 15 nails in my tires riding over this neighborhood. I'm not going to do that. But I might text my neighbor who lives near to them and be like, don't drive that way because these guys have been dropping nails all over the street.
Oh, that's how do they not jack up their own vehicles when they do that?
I don't know. They probably do. They're supposed to go out there with this. They've got a magnet on wheels and like roll it around the yard and stuff to pick up all the nails that have fallen off. But sometimes they fall off back of a truck. I'm not going to say there's a guy out there like cackling maniacally, throwing nails into the street as they're driving off. Yeah, take that, neighborhood people. Middle class apex.
God. I love that you sound like Wario.
Wario. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up. This is gonna be so hard to laugh.
You need a bucket.
I do. There's so much stupid pressure in my head.
So I was thinking about giving you a pipe cleaner to shove up there.
I stuck a Q-tip up there.
All the way up your nose?
Yeah, like back into my, like I could feel with the Q-tip like how inflamed my sinuses are. So like it's at the point where there's not a ton of like gunk in my head. It's just inflammation, and it makes me feel like I took like an oxy and I've got ants in my head and I'm gonna throw up and die and I can't sleep. And Jacob decided after less than an hour of sleep, after me finally falling asleep, that he needed to wake me up.
Yeah, but you had a show to. I mean, you could have slept. Me and Jacob could have drove this bus if you really wanted to nap.
That's like I haven't slept well for over a week, and then last night I didn't sleep at all. I just stayed up and wished for death. And like looking at stuff is giving me a headache all day. So I'm just like, I can't, like, how do I exist? What do? I get tired if I walk, and I get headaches if I look at stuff. So I just like sit and am bored shitless and am tired. So I finally fall asleep and I'm like, sweet mother of the gods. And then like Jacob decided it would be all nice and sweet. So he laid with me, which was really kind. But my arm started falling asleep and I'm like, great, you're asleep. And my arm is asleep, which I guess is kind of like me being asleep, but not what I was going for. And so then he starts playing a video on his phone right as I dozed off. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out! And then I fell asleep. And he's like, honey, you've been asleep for an hour and a half, which was a lie. It wasn't even an hour. And I'm like, you lied to me to make me feel like I had slept more than I had. And then he made me orange juice.
So, okay, so what I hear now is he compliment sandwiched you. He's like, I'm going to lay with her, and then I'm going to play a video on my phone, and then I'm going to wake her up, and then I'm going to go make her orange juice, so it's all better. It's all about maintaining the baseline. That's like, this like, I can make her really mad, but the orange juice will help.
It was so, and then the orange juice was so tart that, like, it honest to God felt like I was just gargling pure citric acid powder with like a drop of water in it. I'm like, what is this? And he's like, oh, it was fine. He took a sip. He's like, I'll put some water in it.
So I feel like I don't know. I wish you the best. I want you to feel better. I could get you like some sort of pump that just pumps saline through your brain.
I've been doing that. I've been doing that for the last week. And like, I've been putting tea tree oil on cotton buds and sticking it up my nose. And like, that will help for, it's like Afrin, but you know, not bad for you.
Yeah, not addictive.
Still, I don't know. I'm like, please God, please stop. Please make it stop. Cause everybody's all excited about Dragon Con. I'm like,
you're like, I want to be excited, but I may be dead.
Yes, okay.
Well, I mean, you could melt down some coconut oil and shove it into your nose.
I did that too. I put coconut oil on a cotton bud and shoved it up my nose. I've literally stuck so many things up my nose, Steven.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, if you're gonna put something in an orifice, your nose is a good place for it. Um, yeah.
Steven, why don't somebody quote that?
If you're gonna be experimenting, experiment with your nasal passages. You know what I hear works is a good old hit of cocaine, just right up the nostrils, wake you right up. It'll clear you up for hours. It's fine.
That's good for me.
Yeah, it makes drunk people sober all the time. It's a useful thing. What country? I was reading about some country that's decided to legalize cocaine. Oh man, was it Venezuela or something? I don't know.
I was gonna say, please be South America, please be South America, please be South America.
Oh yeah, legal cocaine. I mean, it's sort of legal here because we use it. We just call it morphine. Mexican court says cocaine use is legal. Oh, for 2 people. Never mind. Misleading headline. There's literally 2 people in Mexico allowed to use cocaine.
I love Kelly. Kelly's like, South America's not a country. I meant like in the region of the many countries of South America, because obviously if cocaine was going to be legal, you would hope it would be South America region.
Down in
I'm gonna
the
lick
country.
you, Kelly. I'm grumpy and I will lick you. I will lick your face.
She's like, is that a promise?
You don't want my germs. I'm like, marry the mod of destruction.
I have to ride it. I have to ride in a truck with you for hours.
Oh my god! I told Jacob. I said, I'm not sitting in the front. You and Steven will be sitting in the front because I will have a headache at the end of the 5 hours with you 2 yelling from front to back. You need to be able to talk side to side.
Yeah, you could nap if we're talking side to side.
Yes, because everything will go in the back. And we will wrap it with stuff, and I will just sleep and eat pecans.
There would just be me and Jacob doing Tater and D-Wayne fist bumping the whole way down.
I'm gonna secretly record all the bull crap.
Well, you gotta record it. So I really want to be as public with our adventures as I can be, within reason, in terms of like Instagrams or Snapchats or whatever. So the people, our people, the Legion, knows what's going on when they're not there. They can live vicariously through us. So I'm going to be hopefully doing a lot more Instagram live video stuff. I got to charge all my like USB adapter stuff so that my phone doesn't die.
Dad gave us all like 2 of those battery things.
I have like
Jacob
7 of them.
Lost his and stole mine.
They're in a drawer. I just have to charge them. That's all. They're right there, and I'm just going to keep them constantly charging my phone because despite changing the battery, my phone's still like, I hate you and I'm going to die. Okay, good.
I thought you fixed your battery, Griffin. Yes, I will be. What was it? Muddy Mary, Matron Mary, the chick that like she was a carrier.
Mother, what? No, I don't know.
Plagued
Typhoid
Phoebe.
Mary.
Typhoid Mary. Why did I think it needed to be alliteration?
Murder Mary. You know.
Plaguey Patricia.
Typhoid Tina. That's what I remember.
Mary's such a popular name.
It is. And you know what's a shame is it was the name. We went to Alamo Drafthouse Trivia, and I had to remember the 3 Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus, and I could not for the life of me remember Mary. But do you know we had to name the characters and the actors who played them, and I remembered all 3 actresses, but I could not remember who Kathy Najimy played. And that
Who
was
the hell
Mary.
is Kathy Majibajaba?
Freaking Mary, and that round is what put us to getting in 3rd place. The person was like, "There's been an upset."
That's what you get for cheating on your buddies.
Well, yeah, I cheated on them. I mean, this is fine. I call it an exploration. Thank you, Kelly, for the 250 bits. I explored.
I think she's giving bits to Griffin's comment.
Mary, quite contrary, shaved that thing just too hairy. That's great.
Epilators, baby, epilators.
So yeah, I explore new trivia avenues so that I don't have to hurt my friends. I go with other people, so then they don't have to feel cheated on. But then this makes it sound horrible for my new friends that now feel like they're being experimented on.
So you're friend group B, and so I want to make sure that I'm not inconveniencing friend group A, and so we need to go check this out. And I need your opinions, but I need you to pretend to be other people, other better people.
In all fairness, that is not what I'm doing. But it's if I say that so in hopes of making Jacob feel better, and now I've hurt everyone.
It's lovely. See, Steven, you don't like. You're not a mean-spirited individual. Like, if somebody woke you up after you not sleeping for a week, you'd be like, "Oh, what can I do? I need to clean the dishes. What can I do? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I will rip your bleep off, make you eat it, and then kick you in the anus."
Yeah, I don't do that. I go, oh, something important must be done. I'll go clean the dishes. That's my default position, is cleaning over the sink. Ever since Sam was born, and I wash bottles all day, every day, all night, every night. That's where I live now, is over the sink, taking dishes and putting them in the dishwasher. Because the dishwasher was empty, and no one put them in there. They just went in the sink.
I don't understand.
They just went. You guys, I walked in, and the dishwasher's empty. And there's all the dishes in the sink. They're practically clean. You just have to put them, you have to lean down and put them in there, and they're done. But every night, you know who's doing it? Me. I am taking the hoard of dishes, and I'm putting them in the dishwasher. And it's just...
I know. So, like, this week I've been... Okay, so my thing is, like, I will have the house clean at bare minimum. Like, I will have the dishes done, the bed made, the laundry done, yada, yada, yada. Like, that's what I will concentrate on, so I feel like I'm not a piece of shit while I'm like just sick, right? And then today I looked at the dishes. I'm like, wait, it doesn't effing matter when I do the dishes because they're still gonna go in the sink anyway. I'm gonna do it when I feel like doing it. I don't feel like doing it right now.
Yeah, they're just gonna get... You're gonna take all of them and put them in the dishwasher.
Nobody opens it and looks anyway, so it doesn't... Like, it only makes me feel better that it's empty because... It's like Schrodinger's dishwasher, you know? It's just assumed that you don't touch the dishwasher or a dead cat will crawl out.
That's exactly what it's. Schrodinger's dishwasher. Please title that. That would be great. I every morning I empty the dishes and put them all back in the things, thinking that when I get home in the afternoon, like all the dishes that have been used throughout the day will then be placed in it. But I get home and they're everywhere. And I'm like... So I come in and I immediately begin sorting the dishes into the dishwasher because I can't handle it. I can't handle a dirty kitchen. I have an OCD situation. Like, okay, so here's the reason that the kitchen has to be clean, like, before I go to bed. It's because it's the first place I go to in the morning. And if the first place I go to is a mess, that means I have work to do before I have even gotten a cup of coffee. So if it's clean, I go down and I'm like, oh, I can get my coffee. Nothing's a mess. Everything is cool. And that's why that's a household rule. That's a Stevens rule for life. I'm actually going to write it down in a minute because it's important. Make sure your kitchen's clean before you go to bed.
That is good. Like, I will say the vast majority of the time, like, even if it's midnight, I'm just like, nah, wait, like, you can go get ready. But most of the time, Jacob will help because he's wonderful. Because we normally, when we're cleaning it at midnight, we've destroyed the kitchen for whatever reason. Yep. But yeah, it gets done. Even if, like, it's just, yeah, dishes out of the sink.
You need them relocated to some
other place. Who doesn't pee first? I pee 19 times every night, which is fun.
I pee first. I wake up. Well, usually I wake up in Sam's bed with him because at some point in the middle of the night he's gone, Daddy, come play with me. He doesn't sound like an old sailor, but he'll say stuff like, he'll tell me to come play with, so I wander down the hallway. Sometimes I forget I've done it, and I just wake up in there like, how did I get here?
I've heard you say that before, and it makes me real nervous.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I ended up in this room. And so usually I wake up, and he's already put on, this is awesome, he's already put on his underwear. He's already gotten himself dressed for the most part. He's wearing his Spider-Man costume, and he's like, Daddy, can we go downstairs? Like, yes.
Why doesn't he just go downstairs?
Because, I mean, you're little, like 4.5. You don't really want to go downstairs by yourself yet. I'll give him a year or so before he can turn the TV on and start watching his Zebra Gamer Mario streams. Because that's what he does.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, so he'll turn that on. I'll go get him his milk and some cereal. I'm like, here you go, bud. And read a book and drink my coffee while I wait for myself to wake up.
So that's like your morning ritual. You up, pee, Sam. Coffee.
Yes, up, pee, Sam, coffee, warm milk, cereal, couch, book, And then we watch whatever he's watching.
Wait, does he get warm milk that he drinks separately and then eats cereal?
He eats the dry cereal and he drinks the warm milk. That's just how he rolls. He likes the warm milk and he likes the crunchy cereal. Sometimes he wants a bowl of cereal, but then he has to sit at the table. No, I don't pee in Sam's coffee. Well, I feel like Kelly missed something in the translation.
I go pee, I go lay back down, I stretch for 15 minutes, I dry brush, and then like I kind of wander out of the room and I'm like, la, la, la. If I'm not sick and I'm in a good mood, I'm real happy.
Yeah. I can't lay back down once I've gotten up or all life will end as we know it. I have to put my feet on the ground. I have to say, today you are going to do something awesome. And I go get my contacts in for one thing. And then I go do something awesome. Because it's how you have to start your day. You have to wake up and go, God has given me this day and this time, and I shall use it to its fullness. And then you browse YouTube for 6 hours.
Og. Stephen Ellis.
Og says I'm older, so I pee for 15 minutes and then lay down for 8 seconds. That sounds about right. The factoid of the week. Factoid of the week. It's thought that up to 15% of the population are sleepwalkers. See, now this was a good transition because we were just talking about how I end up in a room and I don't know how I got there. I'm not a sleepwalker. I've watched someone sleepwalk before. It is really creepy. Have you ever seen anybody do that?
No.
I watched my sister do it once. And it was so weird. So she's 6 years younger than me. So I was up watching something with my parents and she had been sent to bed. And at one point we're just all sitting there and she comes out of her room, wanders like around the living room back to my parents' room. And then we just hear her start crying. And it's because usually she would like fall asleep on the couch and walk to wherever she was going or something. So I guess she woke up, didn't know where she was, and she mapped her route the same way. But she didn't start from the same place.
That's so weird.
But she's just like a zombie. Like is so funky. It was terrifying.
Oh, my son once came into our room at midnight and said, I am not sleepwalking. I'm here to fight the aliens.
I feel like he's been possessed by some super soldier. It's like, no, it's fine. I'm just using this vessel for my needs.
My favorite like bonding time I've ever had with my father was when he hurt his back for months and was on like copious amounts of pain medication. And I would just sit up with him at night because I was a night owl. So he was up at night because he was in pain and he couldn't sleep and he couldn't leave the bed and he was on lots of pain medicine. And he laid over on the side of the bed once and he reached out his arm and he started going.
Ashley is wiggling her finger in front of him.
But yeah, just like his pointer finger was like waving back and forth. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to get the water. I'm like, where's the water? He goes, it won't, the lever won't work. And I'm like, Daddy, do you need some water? He's like, yes, I'm trying to get the water. So I ran and got him some water. And like, he's just looking around the room, just like wide eyed. I'm like, what you seeing, Dad? He goes, do you see that beautiful green light? Do you see the aliens they're coming in through the walls? I don't think they're here to hurt us, but that light is so beautiful. And then he started talking to a parrot. And I'm like, amazing. This is the best thing. This is how I always want to remember my father.
It's drugged out of his mind in pain.
Lovely.
I remember my dad had nose surgery once and he was laying on the couch like sleeping. And he was on some heavy meds, too. And I was just sitting on the couch, the other couch. And he woke up at one point. He goes, that alligator, it's outside the boat. It's going to get us. And I was like, I don't think there's an alligator. Daddy, you're fine. Go back to sleep. He was convinced there was something after us, man.
Oh, my God. Everybody's just... I love you guys so much.
Wait, what did they say?
That you were putting acid on the sticker paper.
No, don't say that. It's on the business cards. This is I don't even know where you find acid. I don't know. How do you drug? Does anyone know how to drug?
I have friends that like actively use drugs like that. And I'm like, where do you get it? He's like, well, you just know a guy. But I'm like, how do you make a connection? Like if I said, okay, I want to go get me some tabs of acid,
Mm-hmm.
who like who would you go, like, do you go to a quick stop and like walk up to the cashier and be like, drugs?
You just look at him. You go walk up to the guy that's standing outside the quick stop that looks like Silent Bob, and you go, acid? And he goes, puts it $15, little man.
Tweak.
Yeah. I would like to trip today. That would be fun.
Time, me lick.
I know people who have engaged in acid before.
Engaged in acid.
Yeah, they see. I don't know. How do you talk about drugs? They engaged in an acid trip with someone, and they came out of it basically enlightened. And it's always had a curiosity. Don't do drugs, kids. You can think about what it might be like to do drugs, but don't do a drug.
Don't do a drug.
But everyone that does acid, like you hear about these celebrities and stuff, they all come out going, "I saw God, and I know what my life is for now." And I'm like, good gravy.
That
Must
is
be pretty
so,
intense.
One of my buddies that, like, again, active user, he never dreamed in color. And then when he started doing acid, like he has all these insane like color dreams. And like, you know, those drug shirts that were real popular in the 90s, like the swirly mushrooms and the skulls and the flower.
Yeah.
Like everyone I know that trips acid suddenly loves that shit. Like there's some, I don't know what it does to your brain, but it makes your brain like really receptive to those like weird swirls and colors and like skulls and shit.
Yeah, it's really it's a strange thing. I had a friend of mine, an acquaintance, but anytime he did it, when he did do it, he had to clean his entire house first. Like he's like, if I was gonna trip, I had to clean my whole house. Everything had to be perfectly tidy because he's like, if I saw something weird, who knows what would happen. So it had to be like, it's this again. I'm talking about things I have no clue about.
Right.
But like, I don't know. Something out there. But Grant Morrison's a Batman guy, and he's like, I was in the hospital and I had some acid once, and I saw Jesus, and he told me all these secret things. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty wild. Okay.
Did they have acid when the Bible was being written?
Maybe he said,
is that like the gateway to the biblical dimension?
It's quite possible because he got pulled up into space and talked to two blobs and Jesus, and then
was one of the blobs burning?
Maybe it's a burning blob. That's what it was. Bush is mistranslated. It was supposed to say burning blob. Well, to close that off, yeah, don't do drugs.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. World news. Stop having sex with my hedge. Sheffield's man desperate plea to drunken louts. How do you even have... I mean, I've heard of cars. I've heard of real dolls. I've never heard of hedges. I feel like that would be scratchy.
I don't think that would be comfortable.
Yeah, that would be kind of, hey, it's great. Something Bush. I had no idea where I was going to go with that. Pensioner Keith Tyson has been carefully trimming the hedge outside his Georgian terraced home into the shape of a tastefully nude lady since 2005.
Oh.
So, however, the 84-year-old has been continually awakened in the early hours of the morning by lowlifes trying to straddle his bush, which he had named Gloria. The innuendo in this story is incredible. Mr. Tyson said he has to make regular repairs to the hedge and is now considering putting up a sign to address the issue. You'd get drunks publicly undressed and having fun with her in the middle of the night. I've been wakened many times, mainly by men, and sometimes also by women, messing about with her and making a lot of hysterical noises. He's a pirate, also. About 3 weeks ago, I looked out the window about 4:30 in the morning, and there was a man acting like he was shagging her. It's offensive and appalling and is damaging her figure. Privets don't respond well to being manipulated like that.
Privet! Lol!
It's changing the shape of her legs and thighs and is annoying because I spend a lot of time trying to keep her in good order. The former art teacher came up with the idea for Gloria, who he named after a local prostitute, classy gentleman, while teaching at the city's former College of Arts and Crafts. Gloria was one of several ladies of the night artist Keith often saw wandering his own Georgian street nestled right next to Sheffield's busy nightlife. I love this story. And
There's a picture.
Oh, yeah, I need to see that. I'm look at it. Put some thorns on it, right, Og? Like, I feel like that would be easy to solve. Tastefully nude. I want to know. Oh, what's this? Oh,
She's got some low-hanging
snap.
boobles.
She's laying down.
With her.
That's your problem right there.
Low-hanging boobles.
I mean, well, he's an older gentleman. This might be the style he likes. The style of boobs
I
that
don't
he
know
appreciates.
that I would want to stick my wiener in a hedge that could have bees in the vagina.
No, I mean, does he have
vaginal bees? Don't sound fun.
Maybe they put like a weird koozie down there.
Koozie.
they take their beer out of the koozie, put it in the bush where it goes, and then they do their thing. And I don't understand.
So why would you just use the koozie? Because it's not like you can hold the hedge without falling through.
That's a really good point. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know that. Like, there's a point of things I just don't think I'll ever be able to do. Like, have a nude bush in my yard that I trim myself. Like, what does that say about you as a person?
Kelly said she was a classy whore because she's wearing pearls. Yeah, how come the pearls stay?
She's
like,
a
you think like
refined
someone
lady.
would vandalize the pearls?
He probably dressed her up for her photograph.
Oh, oh my God, Steven. So I was looking at an outfit on Amazon because I wanted to get like an extra something because whatever. Anyway, so I was scrolling down through the pictures to see what it looked like on people, and someone has dressed their real doll and said it was a beautiful. You know, I can't even. I think it was a shirt. Can't remember, but it's beautiful and it looks great and it's such high quality. And then they've got like 6 pictures of the real doll in different positions with that whatever it was on, and I'm like.
What? Yeah.
Like, it was a legitimate review using the real doll.
And that person probably needs to talk to somebody. Like, I
don't, like, because, like, I've watched the documentary and I've seen the real sex expose, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like, I think they would be fun Halloween gags.
Yeah.
But, like, I've never thought to buy...
These people have a relationship with
this was a relation because I looked and I'm like, good God, someone, you know, photoshopped the shit out of their fake face, fake face. You're not real.
Is that the one with the motorized mouth or not?
Oh my God.
They do. Man, I watch the same documentary stuff, and I sit there. Mostly confused the whole time. But I mean, I'm happily married. I know how to talk to people. Some people are just alone, man. Like, and they have either extreme agoraphobia, you know, and they just want something other than themselves to hang out with, if you know what I mean. So they go.
I don't know. I just feel like real dolls are real expensive and it'd be cheaper to like pay somebody to help.
Yeah, but it's illegal, man. Like, sex work is illegal, so they can't just happen.
Oh, no, I mean a therapist, Steven. Good God.
I thought you mean you just wanted somebody to come doodle your bits for you. Way to bait and switch.
Like, what therapist has sex with you? Maybe a sex therapist.
Well, I mean, there are many different types of therapies, you know. Like a therapist for sex and a sex therapist are 2 different things. Maybe the people at the Bunny Ranch in Nevada call themselves therapists.
I was doodling people for money, I'd be like, how's your sexy time go? I don't know.
I'm going to need your insurance card so I can charge more than you're going to pay.
Oh my God. There's so much. Did you see the Baby Shark dude with Donald Trump?
I didn't. I try to avoid anything with oversized Oompa Loompas in my feed.
Well, they're 3 people.
What?
And then they just copy and pasted Trump's head onto the middle person. And then one of the section is build a Walt build. And I'm like,
You've had a lot of time on your hands.
No, Jacob played this to make me not angry right before the show.
That was sweet. That was very sweet. I almost did this thing last night. I'm going off on a tangent, so just beware. But last night, you always tell me if you think of an idea, you should write it down, particularly if you're about to go to sleep or you wake up in the middle of the night or whatever. I thought of this. I finally cracked it. The story why is his name? What, Richard Dean Anderson is not his name. Kelly, what's your buddy's name in Colorado? Kevin J. Anderson. Richard Dean Anderson is MacGyver. That's a different.
I thought Richard Dean Anderson was Superman.
No, Richard. That's Dean Cain. I mean, he's a dean. Richard Dean Anderson. Yes, the Monsters, Movies, and Mayhems. I finally cracked it last night before I was going to sleep. I was like, holy crap, that's a good idea. I even thought I should write that down.
Did you not write it down?
I was like, I'm going to remember it in the morning.
You forgot, didn't you?
And I thought about it for like another 10 minutes as I was drifting off. And then when I woke up in the morning, I was like, bull crap. I forgot what this story was going to be about.
No.
The good news is I got in the shower and I just sat there. I didn't think about it. I was thinking about nothing else. Because in the shower is where you just kind of stand there and wake up. And
that's
I was
a waste of water. Your son will.
He's fine. Everything's fine. So I was like, I remembered it. I remembered like 30%, 40% of the whole thing. And I think I got enough threads I can find my way again. I've got the same brain in my head I did last night. So I think I can do it. But I'm really excited about this Monsters, Movies, and Mayhems story. The little bit that I've decided I could crack. I think I've got it. I think I have it figured out.
Sleep brain thoughts are my favorite thoughts.
Einstein used to do that. He'd lay still for start to drift off, and he'd hold like his keys in his hand, and then when he'd drop his keys, he would wake up, and it would like jar him back awake, so he could remember the stuff he was drifting off about.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true, as what I've heard. So I'm gonna believe it. And so
if I don't have a notebook next to my bed, I'll open the notes on my phone and do it.
That's I just didn't want to brighten the room with my giant phone again.
I mean, if it's that good an idea, who cares?
Good point. Whoop, that's the small town news, everybody. Alex says Einstein tripped acid while holding those keys.
I have many frogs in my throat.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God! I will just stop.
What?
It was.
I don't even know what just happened.
I was trying to make the window big, and it kept going. Beep, 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 beep. And then it went to that screen. I want it on that screen. I want it on that screen. Do what I tell you.
You've sworn
Computer
at least 4
slave.
times.
Florida man charged with performing castration at home. It's about what Jacob got when he woke me up tonight. Jacob, he's been so sweet. He's been making dinners and stopping and trying to get me all this cold stuff that I could take, and I'm yelling at him. A Florida man with a bizarre castration obsession was busted.
Did you say his nuts were busted? Someone's were.
By cops for allegedly performing a botched at-home surgery on another man whom he met through a site on the dark web. Ooh. For those with eunuch fetishes. I'm never going back to bed.
I just keep being amazed at people and the things that they're into that I would have never thought was a thing you could be into, like eunuchs. Like who decides they're having a eunuch? By the way, I told Stephanie in college that I wanted to take a class on eunuchs, and she thought that I was talking about men with no balls rather than the operating system, and she was
eunuchs.
She was super confused, but really supportive at the same time. It was so funny.
I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God. All I can think of is Game of Thrones, Varys.
Oh yeah, he was a eunuch.
Or Varys, depending on which actor in which part of the day was it being. Officers with the Highlands County Sheriff's Office showed up to 74-year-old Gary Van
Ryswick. I would call him Ryswick. It sounds like a Muppet name. Or Professor Ryswick. Harry Potter.
Yes. Okay. His home in Sebring just before midnight. after a 911 hangup. When Van Ryswick answered the door, he told a deputy that he had just performed a castration on a man. And to say the least, Van dropped the ball on this one. The sheriff's office quipped.
Oh, sheriff's offices. It's like they're elected officials, man. They can say this stuff.
Oh, man.
You don't
The
like it, vote them
heavily
out.
bleeding victim was found on the bed with a towel over his groin. Nearby, there was a pink container which held 2 body parts that had recently been much closer to the victim.
In his throat.
His larynx. Those are the wrong balls, not my throat balls, my scrotum balls.
Who has throat balls?
No, nobody once they get them removed, Stephen.
At home surgery.
The cut-up man was rushed to an area hospital and later flown to a regional medical center where he's listed in stable condition. According to the authorities, a room in Van Ryswick was I'm just gonna start calling him what's the guy? The
Flitwick.
goblin guy with the gold skin.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes, Rumpelstiltskin's home was set up like a surgical center with medical equipment and painkillers. A camera was also set up to record the procedure. Rumpelstiltskin admitted to deputies that he met the man on a website called eunuch.com.
I'm not going there. Nope, that's for you guys. Someone take a hit for the team and explore that and let us know what's there.
Oh, you're drunk. Get on that.
Yeah, do it. Take another swig and get going.
And then he had told the man he had castrated animals and even removed one of his own testicles in 2012.
What is wrong with a person that's like, I'm gonna take off my own testicle?
Like, did the animals want to be castrated?
I mean, probably farm animals are castrated all the time. Look at this guy. He looks like a creepy professor. Hold on, I got you.
He also said he performed a similar castration procedure on a man in a local motel several years earlier. Police say that surgery turned out pretty much like this one. The sheriff's office said Rumpelstiltskin could not remember that man's name and noted that the man went to the hospital, but law enforcement was not notified. He was arrested and charged with practicing medicine without a license, resulting in bodily injury, a second-degree felony. Damn.
His bond was set at $250,000. I just don't know how this happens. And like, who goes, yes, hey, I would like to be a eunuch today. Would you meet me?
I mean, he looks
apartment?
like he'd be somebody's uncle.
He really does.
Just
he looks like a
drinks
creepy dude.
a lot because look at that nose.
And takes his own nut out. Like, there's something wrong. There's something.
Most guys taking their nut out ends in a different kind of arrest.
Yeah, usually you're sent away on indecent exposure. This guy's like, I took my testicle out once. Would anybody else like to have their testicles taken out as well? And someone raises their hand. It's like, I'll come to your place.
There's an entire site. I really want to go to that site, but I might actually throw up depending on what's there.
Like, you don't do it. Somebody's gonna listen to this and they're gonna write in to hnhshow@gmail.com and they're gonna tell us what they saw in great narrative detail.
We don't want pictures. We want description.
We want
Practice
narrative.
Your writing skills.
Yeah, give us the hard-boiled detective novel we've always longed for about
hard-boiled nuts.
with you doing this thing. That's what we need.
I've popped the nuts out of a dog before, but I was supervised by a veterinarian, and then I quickly had to sit down because like the scalpel cutting through nut skin makes a particular noise that I wasn't super okay with, and I'm just like, all right, that's not for me.
Oh, some nut cuttings in my future, I'm sure. When you don't want to have more kids, the nut cutting happens. You go to the.
Well, they're just like, you take the sack, you squeeze it, you cut it, pop the nut out, chop it off, solder it, and then.
I'm not gonna have my nuts removed. You know,
these were nut removals.
These were nut removals. There's the dude Mike Rowe did a TED Talk where he talked about sucking the balls out of a sheep. It's a very wonderful TED Talk about perspective and knowledge, and like it was kind of, you could also use the analogy of bureaucrats designing gas cans. They evidently never use a gas can because every gas can in America sucks. But
having to like put weight on 5 gallons of gas just so it comes out, and watching half of your hard-earned money spill out into the concrete and piss off ants is just fun.
it's the worst, man. I hate it. I hate filling my lawnmower because I'm like, well, there goes multiple ounces of gas all over everything. You know
Oh,
how?
I heard you learned about some
Oh, shoot.
chemistry.
Yeah. I decided I was going to fix Jacob's chainsaw because I'm a man who does man things and I fix small engines. So I went to Lowe's and I bought some mechanic in a bottle because this thing wouldn't start. Pull it, no start. Choke, no, nothing going anywhere. And I decided I'm going to use this stuff. So you have to empty the gas from the gas chamber to put the mechanic in a bottle in there. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
well, that's easy. Let me just go grab a cup. I'll pour the gasoline in there. No big deal. Oil and gas mixture. So I go get my funnel and I pour it in there. I'm like, okay, that was easy. Do. I notice there's gas going all over the going all over the concrete. I'm like, what just happened? And I'm like, oh, these Solo cups have holes in the bottom. And I said, that doesn't make any sense. It's a Solo cup. It's meant to hold beer. And I learned in that moment that gasoline eats through Solo cups and that you can't do that. And I called Jacob to tell him, and he goes, gas eats through porous polyurethane or whatever the crap. Porous polymers and stuff. And he's like, you know that? I said, no, Tater, I did not know that. I know that now. I'm not a chemist. I'm a computer guy. I don't often see how many things eat through how many other things. But dang nabbit, if that chainsaw didn't start and I cut me down a tree with it. So
Venn diagram. Have you ever seen the water marbling that people do on their fingernails? It looks like, 70s swirly cool stuff on chicks' nails.
yes.
Somebody
Yes,
will
the
know what I'm
Vienna
talking about.
Resinius.
You have to put water in a cup and then put your nail polish in it, and then you put your finger in it, and then that pattern sticks to your nail, and then you just wipe the rest of it off your skin.
That's okay.
I stuck it in a styrofoam cup, and the nail polish dripped down to the bottom of the cup and ate a hole in it, and all my water ran out. And I'm like, oh my God, because I used to collect the styrofoam cups that Jacob would bring home because I wouldn't throw them away. And I'm like, damn it, this one had a hole in it because, I washed them and reused them. And after 3 cups, I'm like, this must be me.
Something is wrong here.
This must be me. Oh, I want pie.
Want pie now.
Why are we talking about pie?
I can talk about pie for a second because we have no special section. So I wanted to share that last night I participated on a wonderful podcast called I Love That Movie with Lisa Sancello. And
that was last night?
The mostest fun I've had in multiple days. Yeah, it was super great. It was last night. It's not live. It's an actual podcast. So we record. Yeah, I would have told you guys. I would have been like,
I'm like, you anus.
No, I would have told everybody. But it's an actual. She edits and cares about things.
Okay.
So yeah,
I see.
yeah. So we sat and chatted about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So it should be coming up, posted tomorrow or Saturday, or when she gets the time to edit it.
That's exciting! Did you talk about her boobs? Not her boobs, but no. I talked about wife boob.
I talked about Jessica Rabbit's chest. Yes. Chest physics was definitely a thing that was discussed. But it was the best. I should post tomorrow, but you should sub to I Love That Movie in general, because one thing, you get a lot of negativity in film review shows. Her show is all about just gushing over the love for a movie in general. So it's all positive. It's like a deep dive into like the actors and directors and stuff that happened and just, what
right up your alley.
Oh yeah, it was totally up my alley. I was like, and she lets the guests pick the movie. So I picked Roger Rabbit, and we had.
She's doing Aliens at DragonCon, right?
Yes, she's doing Aliens at DragonCon. She has a live panel, so if you're there and you're interested in seeing it live, there's like 4 people joining her who have alien props and stuff, so they're gonna have a really great time.
I want to go. I can go to that one, right? It doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, you can totally go to that one. I think I can't. It might be cutting it close in going to get Sam and Stephanie. I can probably show up for a little while.
We got tickets to aquarium, yo.
Yes, aquarium.
I'm gonna go see me some penguins.
Yes. We're going to do some live stuff as we can from DragonCon, but our show is in the room that doesn't have internet, so that's a big pooper. So we're not going to be live, but we will get the video and the audio from it. And
Yeah, because one of the things I'm on will stream live, and then I think the other two don't.
Yeah, Ashley will have a streaming panel. I think both. I think one of mine is. I think Audio 101 is a streaming panel.
Yeah,
but our actual show isn't.
Right.
But we're going to have fun, and we will try to post everything we can as we're going.
Yeah, we can record it and then post it, but it just they said the internet's kind of wonky in that room. But they're hoping next year that we'll have 2 nice rooms.
Yeah, if we can keep growing the podcast track, then we can keep doing great things. So it's a lot of fun. We're pretty pumped. But yeah, check out I Love That Movie and download that and add it to your feed because it's a super fun show. They cover a lot of great movies. News better left untold. Jacob. 6 senior citizens arrested for allegedly having group sex in public park area. Man, the seniors, they know what they're after. Police arrested 6 people all over the age of 60 for allegedly having group sex in a conservation area on August 9th in the town of Fairfield, Connecticut. Among those arrested was an 82-year-old man and his 85-year-old wife, the only woman in the group. So this was the 5 people and 1 woman. So was the 5 dudes all on the 1 woman, or were the 5 dudes like engaging with each other, you know? August is good for them. If you're still having fun after 60, leave them alone.
Well, so that's what I was thinking, but I'm like, don't have human centipede porn in a like open park.
Geriatric gangbang. Zafo. That's awful. You know, they actually say that they actually say STDs in nursing homes are a problem.
Well, I mean, what the hell else are you gonna do? Nothing's work. You shit yourself. You piss the bed. Might as well have some fun.
You know, I can't argue with that. I'm like, what are you gonna do? What, really? Tell the old people stop doing the one thing that brings you joy. You know? Go back and watch more Jeopardy. What's wrong with you? Police.
That's what Stephanie does now. She's like, it's 7 o'clock Jeopardy time.
I freaking love Jeopardy. Don't make fun of me. I love Jeopardy. I sat at my parents' house and like cleared a board, and my dad was like, all right.
Like, you and Jacob, I have a video of you and Jacob sitting on the couch bro-tatoing out and answering Jeopardy like questions.
I freaking love trivia. I love it. I love it. I love it. Police say the Grace Richardson Conservation Area has been publicized online as a place for folks as a meetup to have sex or hook up, according to an online city hookup guide. The Fairfield Police Quality of Life Unit and the Special Services Unit worked together to set up surveillance to catch people in the act. The police spotted violations of sexual and lewd activities from the 6 seniors. The 6 seniors arrested all face multiple charges from public indecency to breach of peace. They were released from authorities after each of them made a promise to appear in court. Dobbins has a prior arrest in 2017 after witnesses told police they saw him walking naked in another park. Police found him in his car with a shirt and shorts draped over him with no underwear. He allegedly told police he was naked for medical purposes.
That sounds like a me excuse in college.
According to criminaldefenselawyer.com, a charge of having sex in public is considered a misdemeanor. Thank you, weirdo news site, for referencing criminaldefenselawyer.com. I feel like that's where you go for Better Call Saul, you know? We don't need a criminal lawyer. We need a criminal lawyer.
Oh, that's funny. I get that.
That's where Saul came from. We don't need a criminal lawyer. We need a criminal lawyer. That's how we get out of this.
Jacob's pretty. Have you ever noticed his butt?
I don't really look at his butt. He is a handsome devil, that's for sure.
Did I tell you guys I grabbed Steven's butt because we were at, it was Christmas last year and we were at the thing and Steven and Jacob had very similar outfits on and I had gloves on, so it was okay. And it was through a glove, a pea coat, and like a sweater, so it was fine. But I was like, ah!
We both just
like, what the devil? I'm like, just ignore it, Steven.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those like we'll never speak of this, and then we share it all the time.
Yeah, I'm just like, I grabbed your butt, but like I often grab Jacob in inappropriate place. Like when he gets home, I'm like, let me rub you inappropriately, and I've noticed I've stopped paying attention to when and where I do it, and I'm like, I just rubbed your junk in front of my dad. I hope he did not see that. Mea culpa. He's like,
Welcome
honey, you
home.
have to be careful.
Testicle grabs.
I'm just like how you do it.
He's like, I literally just got home from work. He's, that's fine. I've been here all day by myself. Welcome home, slave penis. Get to the bedroom.
Slave penis. Oh my god, it hurts.
We are married. You belong to me. You go lay down.
I tell him that all the time. I'm like, I don't care if you're tired. Get in there and fulfill your biblical duty, bitch.
I'm broken.
I'm gonna throw up and I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna throw up and pee.
My head is gonna explode.
LOL.
Up.
I am happy to say that the new bed did not change the sex positioning. There was no lack of enough bounce that it made it difficult to do the favorite positions. In case anybody's wondering, I'm effing tired and I don't feel good, so I say things.
I clipped that because I don't know if anybody else was going to. So that's saved forever.
Which part?
Do your biblical duty. That's going in there. That's good. That's clipped forever.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
We should stick that in the Dragon Con.
Yes. We should put that.
Doesn't our page have clips now? Because you're wonderful and you made a beautiful page.
Yeah, go to legionofdorks.com. That's where you're gonna find all the ways to find us. Because I felt like it was just a cooler name.
I like it. Steven, I got a new bra, and I don't like it.
Good. What's wrong with it? Tough underwire, difficult to unlatch.
So it's just like I feel like it's just kind of like coming up over the boobies, and I'm like pull it down, and it just decides to come up. And I'm like, what? Provide support? That's what I pay you for.
Well, if you look at the fine print, it says under cleavage bra, so it's designed to get up there and make it happen.
Steven, Kelly's like, I feel like Steven knows a lot about bras.
I really don't.
Stephanie and I whine about inappropriate things quite often.
Yeah, well, you know, the bra thing. I don't really know a lot about them. I barely know how they unlatch. It's you know, you try to learn. You know, real so you're all suave and you've got like one hand and you're like, well, bam.
I don't think Jacob's ever undone my bra.
You're just, by the time he gets there, you're already like, let's do this thing.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you not naked? Screw foreplay. Give me some coconut and hop on.
I'm already nude. Let's go. Saddle up, baby.
Jacob, I'm sorry, man.
I like this tired, sick Ashley. This is better than me tired, sick.
I've been so angry. Everything's making me annoyed.
Well, that'll be fun at Dragon Con.
I like that Og's been drinking too. I feel like we all need to get together and drink.
We can totes do that at the Writers Meetup at Dragon Con. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's get together and have lots and lots of alcohol.
And forget how much money we all spent to get where we are. That would be the best part. I want to forget all of it. Here we go. WTF section. WTF.
I have to pee in the potty because Band-Aid stuck on me. Wife in the UAE seeks to... What the fuck? What's a UAE in the UAE?
The United Arab Emirates. Yeah, I know stuff. Better look out.
I want to go there, but I also feel like I'm about, I don't know, $90 billion short of being able to visit the place.
You can go to Dubai and see stuff. You just have to
Can't
watch your back.
participate.
Well, everything's illegal in Dubai, so you have to be mindful that you can't stay in the same hotel room as someone you're not married to. You know,
fine, I'm married.
Yeah, you'd have to do. I think Dubai is a little looser, but I think there's still there's intense rules for being a person.
I just know it's real pretty.
Yeah,
and that there's like fun stuff there that all the rich people do, and I'm like, anyway, wife in the rich people colonies. Seeks divorce because husband loves her a lot, doesn't argue with her.
That's
So this is
irreconcilable differences is what we call that in the States. It's just whenever you want a divorce and you're like, we ain't got enough. We just don't want to do
Jacob would
this.
love it if I didn't argue with him. I have this quirk in my personality where I always have to be right, and I will twist whatever I need to twist to make sure that I come out right, even if by the end of it someone's like, literally, what the hell are we talking about now? But I'm right.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
You've never been wrong before.
Never. If one argument could save a marriage, this is it. But the fawning husband cooked, cleaned, swept, and loved his wife. Oh, she got real bored, son.
Mm-hmm.
She in turn felt choked by his affection and now wants to divorce him. The woman sought divorce from her husband at the Sharia. That's right?
Sharia.
Sharia,
I think. Isn't it because Sharia is Arabic for law, right?
Sharia. I forget.
I don't know.
I can't Farsi. At the court in
Sharia.
Fujairah.
Sharia.
I don't know why I made that. Yeah, no, and the one below it. Is it Sharia?
Yeah, Sharia.
Okay.
I don't know what the one above it is or below it is, but Sharia. You could call that one Fujairah.
Because his love was too much for her to bear. He never yelled at me or turned me down, the woman, a Gulf national, said. I was choked by extreme love and affection. He even helped me clean the house. He sometimes cooked for her, and there were no disputes in the year-long marriage. Wife complained that her life turned hell because the man was so kind to her. I long for one day of dispute, but this seems impossible with my romantic husband who always forgave me and showered me with gifts. She must be hot, dude.
Like, see if I can find out.
Real attractive. I need a real discussion, even an argument, not this hassle-free life of obedience.
He was like a puppy.
I mean, that was my dating in college. I'm like, if this doesn't work out like that, then whatever. The husband said he did nothing wrong. I wish to be a perfect and kind husband. She once complained about his weight, so he went on a strict diet and exercise to get back in shape, only to suffer a fracture in the leg for his efforts. The husband asked the court to advise his wife to withdraw the case. It's not fair to judge a marriage for the first year, and everybody learns from their mistakes. The court ordered the adjournment of the case to give the couple a chance at reconciliation. Bitch! I said, sit down!
Go back home. 1 year, though? Like, seriously. You're still in honeymoon zone. Like, give that man a minute. He'll get angry one day. You know?
I feel like Jacob and I started out arguing almost immediately.
Yeah.
About just everything. Like, our first conversation was 3 hours on the phone, and I argued with him about, well, I was telling him about juicing, and Jacob being Jacob goes, oh my God, juicing, blah, 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 blah. And then we get in this like 3-hour argument about juicing and solar freaking roadways, and I'm like,
I like this one. He's intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just don't argue. I hate arguing. I hate conflict. I'd rather just lose and go drink. Like, what's the point? What do you win anyway? Somebody's gonna still go. One of you's walking away grumpy. So why not just not argue? And that way you can both be like, this isn't important enough.
I don't know. Jacob and I both really like to be right, and we really like to get our point across.
I just really like to be well loved by people, so I refuse to argue with them. That's not healthy either.
That's not, no.
No, it's not healthy.
There's like a middle ground.
You should have principles. You know, it's important.
So I've heard that the solar roadway thing did not do well.
Yeah,
but failed. I've never read like why or what the parameters were, or
I mean, I could tell you, but you're gonna argue anyway. So you can go research why they failed. But they did fail. You know, they fell over real hard. Not real hard. It just became, it was impractical, I think is the way it came out.
But why?
Because they were damaged easily. I think they got covered by stuff, and it made their effectiveness much lower than they had assumed it would. Now, I'm not saying they still shouldn't use them for tennis courts and stuff. Like, I think any large
driveways,
just a space. But I think overall, using them as a roadway is probably bad. And Jacob had a better. He found a study that said if all roofs and roadways, which roadways would be blinding, but if you painted every roof white, it would actually help heat a lot. Like it would help the whole problem. Also, we're burning up the Amazon right now.
Oh my God.
Good.
Right?
Breathe your last breath because it's going to be space balls all up in here. We're going to be going to Druidia and stealing their air to bring it back
they
here.
do it on purpose. And the guy's like, well, they're just rioting against my presidency. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what did you do that they're literally trying to kill the effing planet?
Yeah, because apparently the rainforest in Amazon provides 20% of the Earth's overall oxygen. And it's burning
and it's
up.
just going up, man. And not to mention like the ecosystems that live there. Like,
yeah,
I looked at the pictures and I'm just like Sao Paulo is just covered in smoke like freaking Beijing right now, and they're like, this is real far away. This is bad.
Yeah, this basically they nicknamed it Earth's lungs because of the amount of CO2 it brings in. There's actually been efforts to reforest the Amazon because they found that if they just reforested the Amazon, a lot of this temperature problem would also go away. So there's like multiple solutions. We're just ignoring all of them.
Because, it's all... How do you pull it? If you're a 60-year-old man and you're just like, F my grandchildren because I'll be fine, and
I don't know.
Are comfortable politicizing something that's like science...
I don't even know. I don't know how you justify it.
Die.
I've
like,
heard people...
I hope the next hooker you put it in is a shrub and you get vaginal bees.
Hope you get a thorn in your wiener.
I hope you get a Prince Albert that you did not pay for.
I've heard people of faith that I respect say things like, well, throw your plastic bottles because God's going to replace the earth anyway. I'm like, oh my gosh.
No!
Like, no, he literally said, take care of this place, you butthole. Like, that's not how this works. Be stewards of the earth. Like, we're supposed to take care of it. So keep your Jesus says this is okay BS out of my life because I ain't got time for that.
Go trip some acid and go talk to the burning blob and let's see what the conversation is, because I feel like he's going to shove a bottle up your nostril.
Be like, yeah, I told you to take care of it. And you were like, whatever. You're going to make a new one anyway. It's like, you give your kids a car and they're like, you told me I could have a new one when I was 20, so I just jacked this one up. I
kept mine forever. They found plastics in ice core drilling that they've been doing, and I'm just good. Like, because it's getting picked up and then placed down in the freaking Arctic. So that's awesome. So every time I drink tap water now, I'm like, great.
But you're looking at this all wrong. Like, I mean, think of all the positives. Now that the Greenland's ice shelf is falling off, we're able to get to all that oil and other natural resources.
Oh my God.
It's
amazing. They made the monument, like memorial for it. I'm like, that's the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, but we can get to the oil now. So it's fine. Like before, we couldn't get to that. But now
is
that
the
really
ice
an
argument people are making?
Yes.
I'm gonna kill what jackass?
Why do you think we wanted to buy it, Smash?
Oh my God.
Because we found out there's stuff in there.
Like, okay, so 20 years ago, I watched TV shows, like sci-fi shows, about how corporations were going to run the government, yada, yada, yada. Like
Taco Bell.
It's a thing. Like, it's legitimately a freaking thing. Like, when you make a corporation a person, you suck, and you're going to go to hell, and you go have some high tea with Satan, because y'all be buddies.
Yeah.
I have to pee.
Well, with that positive note, we hope you all enjoyed the show, and I can't wait to see your beautiful faces at Dragon Con next week, where we shall hang and we shall do awesome things. And I don't have much planned to do for myself other than the aquarium and George Lowe. I found out when he's going to be chit-chatting, and I'm going to go see him because my buddy Jeff is also going to be there. Horace Holloway, who we interviewed on Creator Crush, has confirmed he is due for Dragon Con. So I'm going to go hang out with him and stuff, and that's going to be great. Can't wait to see those guys because they're both cool. They're both very cool people. And you're going to meet cool people, and I hope you all make friends, and it's the best time ever.
I'm just excited to see Kelly and Kevin again and give them high fives.
I think it's weird to be a con veteran to some degree because I'm more excited to see friends that aren't famous.
I know.
Than I am to see like actual famous people. Like I'm excited to see George Lowe, but I'm like really excited to see Jeff because I'm like, I know you and we can talk, and we've talked externally to this, famous people shenanigans.
He's like one of those crazy people that you sit there and talk to. You're like, your life has been like when you become like a massively famous musician, they will make a biopic about your life and it will be grand.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see VH1's Behind the Music Horace Holloway. I'm waiting on it. It's gonna be good.
Wet my pants.
It's gonna be good. Hey, if you like this show, give us a review on iTunes or wherever you can review it. It helps a lot. I would love to see us have like 15 reviews, 20 reviews. If you haven't ever reviewed the show before, go review the show. Just click on iTunes and be like, "This show is great." Bam, 5 stars. And it would be the best present ever. Also, in spirit of helping out people that we love, if you're on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/C, the letter C, Pat Ran, to follow Coleman Ranahan, who we love, who's a friend of the show, and he's trying to get his affiliate points. And it would be really cool to see his follows go up due to the Legion of Dorks being super helpful. Also, man, hey, follow us on Twitter, Steve H&H and Fate Kills, PHATE Kills. You can also tip us, twodorks.net/tip. So you can toss us $1 or $2, or patreon.com/2dorks if you would like to just support us, doing the thing.
Thank you for the bits, Kelly.
Every week, or throw bits, because bits are also helpful. They are cash. They are cash in our pockets, and we love it. We're going to leave you guys with these words of wisdom from Walter Reich. Tired minds don't plan well. Sleep first, plan later. I like it. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Bye! All done. That's a show in the can.
I need to go pee in the can.
You go pee in the can if you need to.
Can I be right back? I'll be right back.
I can fulfilling biblical duties. It's a Unix system. Can we do a Unix system? I think that's the greatest double entendre considering this thing that I've ever seen. I'm so down for it. Da, 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 da. Dragon Con is next week. What did we talk about at the top of the show? We started with something. That is the best title. I think it's definitely the best title. Hopefully these are all funny when I end up saying them. Florida man charged with castration in home. It's always good when I make myself laugh. What did you call the geriatric gangbang? I'm using that. Senior says, wife UAE6, husband loves too much. Husband loves too much. And more on H&H. Episode 478. My goodness, this is a lot of episodes. Whenever I tell people who are podcasts, like, oh yeah, we did this 2007, they're like, what? Was podcasting even alive in 2007? And I'm like, yeah, it was. I'm an old person. August 22nd, right? 2019. It's a Unix system. I'm going to spell it Unix like people without balls. All right, I got it, Smash. I'm ready to rock.
Yay.
We're going to do It's a Unix system because that's just too freaking good.
Lol, I didn't even see that one.
Like, it's too good to pass up by a lot. All right.
Geriatric gangbang.
I'm going to say that out loud. My mom still says I'm funny despite how many times it should have been embarrassing. My son's podcast is so great. You should listen. My mom doesn't sound like that at all. Okay, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tonight on the show, Steven nailed his tire. Ashley is super duper sick. Dragon Con is next week. That bush is getting busy. Dirty ball surgery. Geriatric gangbang, and husband loves too much. All this, a factoid and more on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, episode 478 for August 22nd, 2019. It's a Unix system. That's great.
Lol.
I know this. Oh, by the way, I watched that video essay on Jurassic Park that you sent me.
Yay!
And it was so right.
Did you like? I thought that you would be one of the only people that would actually appreciate it.
Oh, I loved it. I love that stuff. I watched a 10-minute video preparing for that Roger Rabbit episode on the technical difficulty and the amount of stuff they did in that movie to make you walk out believing you could see a cartoon walking down the street and think that was normal. Like it was
Jam.
Right, it was not Space Jam. And it was not Mary Poppins. It was something different. They did a lot of things that the animator of Roger Rabbit actually died. The animation director who pushed everyone to make everything better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they could have just drawn it like Mary Poppins, and he would not allow it. He was like, no, we're going to do stuff that people are going to walk out of here going, holy crap, 2D things can live with us.
I don't know why. Like my brain always balked at movies that mix the cartoons and the real people. My brain just was like,
no, that's cool. Did you've seen the movie, right?
Yes, I hated it.
Yeah, I figured you hated it. I wasn't really gonna tell you to listen to the episode or anything.
No, I want to listen to the episode. Well, because like the cross was weird. I don't know. It was very bothersome to my young brain. Yes, Jurassic Park had an amazing soundtrack. It was I'll find the video and I'll pop it on Discord, but it was talking about the way they filmed things to scale and how it gave they were comparing Jurassic World to Jurassic Park and how the scaling was different, and they gave the human characters more of a scale than the dinosaurs in Jurassic World. Versus Jurassic Park, he actually made a good comment about how it was a horror movie in disguise.
Yeah.
And I liked that.
Yeah, it was all about seeing the dinosaurs through the humans' eyes.
Yeah.
And how they shot in a different aspect ratio than most movies were doing so they could get the larger scale.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I've even seen other visual effects people talk about when the T-Rex breaks out of the pen and all the things they did there that made you believe that was a T-Rex, and it had a lot to do with lighting and shadow, which is similar to like Roger Rabbit. All the lighting and shadow on the 2D characters made you think that they could exist with the people. They weren't
they
like
had
flat
weight
lit.
Almost.
Yeah, that they had the same shadows on them that people had on them, so your brain doesn't disconnect it and go, that doesn't belong there.
And maybe that's why I was so freaked out, because I knew it didn't belong, but I also couldn't figure out why it didn't belong or why it should not, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm picking up what you're laying down. Oh, right. Well, that's a wrap, everybody. I'm going to mix down these two things, get them published, and you guys are going to have a show in your feeds if you're into that sort of thing.
Yay!
If you're not, you've seen the show, and it'll be on YouTube.
I love you guys. Thank you for hanging. I'm so excited about